Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode of To The Max Outdoors. And as you've seen there from the opening video, we are in a tree stand here in my yard shooting at our 3D target. That's my little Boss. I think that's called the Baby Boss Daddy Buck. I've had it for a few years. Pretty neat little inexpensive, nice little 3D target. Broke the Bowtech Assassin out. That's what I'm going to be shooting for the majority of this year here. I've put the Hoyt up for a bit. I did have new strings and cables put on this bow here while I was gone. These are Vapor Trail. I went back up to the Sportsman's Emporium, place I bought this bow from 10 years ago. Those guys put them back on there for me. Put my speed buttons back on. Put my release loop back on. Put my kisser on, Pete. They did a good job. Those guys take care of me up there and I enjoy them. This bow here, it's been great to me. I know it's not the most fancy bow out there. It's not the fastest, it's not the quietest, but something about this bow and me just fit really well together. I like it. Everything feels good and natural, and that's why I brought it back out. Like I said, it's every bit of 10 years old, but I really like it. Just to recap here, we're in one of the tree stands I did the video on there earlier about, going over the cables and getting a little bit of paint on them, the same way with my steps over here on the other side. Now there again, we're only about 6 foot off the ground, so I just like to get up in a tree, kind of get my stuff out. I'm actually working the camera. My GoPro is setting on a Pursuit equipment hanger arm. I'm actually trying to figure out my angles, and I'm trying to figure out how I can film with a GoPro, because I like the GoPro, because I use the GoPro Quick app, which is through my phone. I can control all of that without moving a whole bunch. So I'm trying to figure out some camera angles here and how I work, or how I can work everything without moving a bunch, because as you know, when you're deer hunting, you don't want to move a whole bunch. So I think I'm liking this Pursuit equipment hanger arm. I may want to buy one that's got 2 flex points in it. This one just got one single pivot point. They make one that has 2 pivot points, and I think I'm going to pick that one up next time I'm up at Cabela's, up above me about an hour is at Cabela's. I think I'm going to go up there and pick up the next one. But anyways, just catching up here. Like I said, doing a little bit of shooting. I know there a couple weeks ago, BK Bowhunter, he put out a good video there of his saddle and just doing a little bit of shooting out of it. And that made me think, it's getting that time of year. Been really busy. I probably need to take a day here and get up in a tree and make sure everything's working out right, making sure the new strings and cables are timed and kissers where it needs to be, peeps where it needs to be. Obviously I've shot it in the yard, but trying to make a little bit of real life scenario here in a tree, figure out a little bit of camera angle. So we'll take a few more shots here. I'll turn the camera around at the target here. We'll take a few more shots, and then we'll see where we go from here. While we're sitting here in this tree, I was talking about trying to figure out my camera angles and all. I'm kind of new to this stuff too, and I've watched a lot of J&J or J&J True Outdoors. Those guys do a pretty good job of figuring out how to get camera angles into tree stands, and I like it. Norcar Whitetails, he's got her going on. Those guys got it going on. I like watching, and I'm trying to duplicate what those guys are doing. So that's kind of half the purpose of this video, just me BSing a little bit about, my little setup here. I don't have anything fancy by no means. I'm not spending a bunch of money on this stuff. I just trying to record my hunts and make friends here as we go along in the YouTube world, and I think it's working out pretty well. But the target is it's at exactly 23 yards. I use a Bushnell, the Truth rangefinder, and it is for bow hunting, so it'll tell you the line-to-line distance, and it'll tell you to adjust. Like it's like right here we're at 13 degrees down, so it says shoot it right at 23 yards, as it calls it is 22 or 23. But I do kind of like that rangefinder. It's actually right here. I said it is Bushnell the Truth, and I can't figure out how to put it into camera, but when you press the button to get your distance on this thing, like right here, it's telling me it's 23 yards. It's a 16-degree negative angle, and it says to shoot it for 22 yards. So it does have a archery drop compensation built into it. There again, I've had this for a long time. I really like it, and I hardly ever go out in the woods bow hunting without that Bushnell of the Truth. It's never really let me down, and it does make a difference, you know, in West Virginia, and I do hunt in the mountains, the true part of the mountains, the center of the state. If you happen to get up on a logging road, you know, and you're out on the end of it, and there's another one on another logging tram road, that's the steepness of those angles actually makes more than you think. I mean, you know, a couple yards difference in 30 yards means spining a deer or gut shooting a deer. So that thing there has definitely eased the game up a lot for me. Not saying that I still don't go out and practice yardages, and you know, when I look at that deer, I know that it's within 25 yards, and let's be honest, most compound bows today can compensate for a few yards here and there, but to make a good ethical shot, that Primos the Truth rangefinder that I use, I think definitely enhances your ability to make the most ethical shot capable. So that's why I use it. Yes, I still shoot traditional in the yard. I haven't shot a deer with a long bow in a long time, and I love it. That's my reasoning for using a rangefinder, trying to be as ethical as possible, and I really like it. So we'll get the camera spun around. Shoot, I'll hit my hand into the camera and spin the camera around here. There's our target down there. Like I said, it's 23 yards. We'll zoom her in here. GoPros really aren't known for zooming. Anybody that uses one, they're not a real big zooming factor to them. Let's try to get her fairly leveled up here without making everybody sick. But I do really like the GoPro. I've tried some cameras. I just really never found anything that I'm happy with. But anyways, we'll get an arrow knocked up here. Oh, and I don't know if I said, and I don't know if anybody's really concerned, but we'll do a little bit of a bow gear my bow gear setup here down at the target afterwards. But I do shoot a Scott release, and I am standing up. I do shoot standing majority of the time. Like that shot there was a tad bit low. I'm just shooting 5 times here. I've shot 2 into it already, and I'm gonna make 3 shots here. And I've got a little bit of vibration in the bow here, and I'm not exactly sure where the vibration's coming from, but that's why we shoot in the summertime, so we can try to get all that stuff tuned out. I do not shoot with a quiver attached to the bow. I never have, and I never will. It's a mental thing to me, but I don't like shooting with a quiver on the bow. I think it enhances a bunch of noise. So I always take the quiver off my bow and hang it on. I just carry them cheap tree steps with me. See, that's what you get for talking while you're shooting. That one, I pushed it forward a little bit. But anyways, there's a 5-shot group that's by no means a good 5-shot group, but nevertheless it is a 5-shot group. See, this is something about this GoPro Quick app that I'm not really fond of. Let's see if we can see it here on the phone. If somebody else uses this and it has this same problem, try to let me know. So on the top of my screen right here, you're looking through the camera back onto my phone. The top bar here is the zoom bar. Now I can get it to zoom, but I can't get it to unzoom. I got to use my finger on the camera to get the thing to unzoom. So if anybody else out there uses the GoPro Quick app, I would greatly appreciate it if you'd leave me a comment or send me an email to themaxoutdoors@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram, @themaxoutdoors. Shoot me a comment. Let me know what I'm doing wrong, or do I have the wrong version of the app or something, because I'm going to want to zoom this thing while I'm in the tree stand or when I'm hunting, period. But I don't want to keep fiddling with the camera and making all that extra noise on the video to take the zoom back off of the camera. So there again, help me out. I'm new to this. and we'll catch up with you down here at the target. Everybody, we're back down here at the target. As you can see, I've got 4 arrows, and I shot 5, 4 of them's in it, and 1's here. We'll talk about that here in a second. That's another key reason why we shoot in the summertime. But just a general little rundown here. This is a Bowtech Assassin. I really like this bow. It's all black. It's got a nice brace height on it for me. It's a pretty forgiving bow for me. I like the handle on it. I'm not a Matthews handle fan. They hit me in the hand funny, but that's the reason for me shooting this bow. It is a binary cam bow, so it does have a little bit of a breakover to get on the wall of the bow, but it's a hunting bow, and I'm more than happy with it. And this thing has taken a lot of game over its life, and I'll take care of it. Now, I did say earlier, I do shoot Vapor Trail. I'm a huge fan of Vapor Trail products. Their strings and cables, in my opinion, once you get them set, they never move, and they make them colored, which I know a bunch of them come colored, but I'm blue and gold because I'm a Mountaineer fan through and through. I do shoot a release. I shoot a Scott Samurai. It's just a jaw release. Some of these jaw releases, people get real punchy with them, like punching a trigger. I treat this the same as a rifle trigger. Nice, smooth, crisp breakover. I like it. This is kind of a cheaper Scott release, but for me, this works out good. It's just cable, or it's just attached by a strap. I can get it up out of the way real easy. I can tuck it in my jacket. I really like it. Like I said, it's a cheaper one, but the trigger pull on this thing is adjustable. It does have an adjustment in it, but the trigger pull on this thing is phenomenal to me. It reminds me a lot of it reminds me a lot of my AR triggers. I like that nice crisp breakover. There's zero creep in it, and I really like it, so that's why I shoot it. But if you're going to shoot this, you got to be careful, because you can't get real jerky with it, and it'll cause you to fling arrows all over the place. But I'm used to it, so I like it. There again, the bow, it's just a Trophy Ridge 4-pin sight. I shoot 19 thousandths diameter fiber pins. I have a little bit of astigmatism, so the bigger, like 29 thousandths ones, they'll cause some starburst for me. Like I said, this is a 4-pinner. My top one's 10-20. You can get away with 10 to 20 on it. My second one's 30, third one's 40, and the fourth one's 50. I'm never going to shoot 50 yards at a deer. It's just on there for in the yard playing around and trying to group it good. And just a standard old Octane 5 arrow quiver on there, and it is the quick release kind. Like I said, I take this off hanging on a tree step or something in the stand, and then that's how it is hunting. I don't shoot with the quiver on it while I'm hunting, but some of you do, some of you don't. I just prefer not to. And we were talking about I was talking about the equipment hanger here. This is just a Pursuit. It's just a Pursuit brand equipment holder. It just has the one pivot point with a screw in here. You screw this end into the tree, and then one end flexes it. All this is just a GoPro handlebar mount. I've just put it on there. I said Cabela's earlier. It's actually Bass Pro that's north of me here a little bit, but Pursuit makes one that has another pivot point in it, so you can get more adjustability out of it, and I will make it up there to purchase that one. But for anybody that's wondering, this works pretty well with a handlebar clamp. Put your GoPro right on it, put it down level with you, and you can view your screen, whether it's front or back of the GoPro. You can view what you're viewing. So far, I like it. Like I said, my Bushnell, the Truth. Like I said, it is Bushnell, the Truth. I really like it. Like I said, I don't hardly ever go in the woods anymore without it. It's really good peace of mind, and it takes all the guesswork out of the game. I said again, like I said it earlier when I was up there in the tree stand, still practice, still know your yardages. That stuff, you got to do that. Be as ethical as possible. This just makes you even more ethical. Now, in the target here, as you can see, yep, we're in frame here. All 5 of my arrows were definitely within the kill zone. I'm pretty happy with that grouping for me. I'm not a professional shooter. I shoot men at a deer. A good Rage broadhead, in my opinion, whatever broadhead you use, a good, reputable broadhead kills this 100-inch deer right here every day of the week. Now, when I come down here, I started pulling an arrow out, and you'll see right here, it's missing something. Tell me what the difference is. You see the difference? This arrow here, I pulled the whole insert and practice tip out of it. So we've seen you guys have seen in previous videos, I do build all my own arrows. I buy them raw blank shaft, I cut them, I spine check them myself, I fletch them, I crest them, I do all that stuff to them. I messed up. I either didn't glue that insert in properly, or I didn't set the glue properly. I do use Fletch-Lite glue for the inserts, so that's another key reason. I know that a lot of people I know do not practice shoot their hunting arrows. Now, these are Gold Tip Hunter 400s. That's what I shoot. That's what I like. That's what my local J&R Sporting Goods carries. Thanks, Sam, for carrying them. They're reasonably priced. But that's on me right there. It's not cracked or anything around the edge of it. I messed up, and I actually don't even see any glue. I don't see any residual glue in there, so I'm going to say I messed up. But that's a pretty good point that should be brought across to everybody, is take your practice arrows out, shoot them in something that's hard, like these 3D targets. I mean, you got to be a man to pull them out of there. Yes, they make pullers, but I'm too much of a man to buy one of them. But we'll go ahead and pull the rest of them out. I said they're hard to get out, and that one dang near fell out. We'll go ahead and pull the rest of them out. Okay, so the first one I tried to pull out was the hardest, but it just goes without saying, shoot your hunting setup. I'm not going to shoot an expandable into this. They make practice expandables. I'm still not shooting into that. I got one of them screen bag targets I shoot them into, but I guess that goes without saying, shoot your whole hunting setup. Right there, that was an easy flaw that I missed. I mean, that could cost you deer. If you hit a shoulder or whatever and that comes out, you're not going to get that full penetration, or if that deer takes off running, he might pop that out and that might cost you a deer. But that was something that wasn't planned in this video, and it came about, and I'm glad it did, because it reminded me, which should remind all of you, to check all your stuff. But anyways, that's just a general rundown. Like I said, it's getting towards the end of July here. We've got another 2 months, we'll say, you know, somewhere there in September. I haven't looked at the new regulations yet, but usually somewhere in September it's going to be time to start bow hunting, and I'm pretty comfortable with my setup now. I'll continue to come out here in my yard and shoot, whether it be off the ground or get up in this little tree stand and shoot at my Boss Daddy right here, my earless 3D target. I don't know where the ears went. They come off somewhere. The dog probably chewed them off. I don't know. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. This was just a little catch up here, you know, just what's going on, what's upcoming. I do plan on filming every hunt that I'm on this year here. Like I said, I have a GoPro 7 and I have a GoPro 10. I'm gonna try to bring you guys all kinds of action-packed stuff. Like I said, I've been watching a lot of channels throughout the past couple years, and I really like it. So thank you for watching. Leave me a comment. Anybody that's got any GoPro quick recommendations for me, please let me know, man. I love hearing it all. I learn from you guys. I learn tons and tons of stuff from you guys. So hopefully somebody can learn something from me along the way or enjoy watching it. So thanks for listening to me ramble. It's Tudo Max Outdoors.